Hey everybody, this is Roberta Eastman from Home Buyers Inventory, and today we want to welcome you back for a second article in podcast in regards to how do you help your parents have their own home. So the first series was the children being helped by the parents, and now number 2 is helping your parents to have their own home. This one's very near and dear to my heart because for those of you who know my story, you know that my dad ended up, once my mother passed away, he was in a rental and he didn't have his own home. And then he lost his independence as he grew older, and he had to go from child to child and live with them in their homes. If I knew then what I know now, my parents would have had their own home. And it brought up a lot of emotion in the family when they didn't have their own home. They weren't taught that, so that's how it was back then. But again, if we can help you avoid any of the emotion of your parents not having their own home as they get older, then that's what we want to do for you in this article here. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about how do you help your parents. That's how we're going to answer people's question number 58 from Home Buyers Inventory. So now, when you consider how do you help your parents, you need to be a daughter or a son who has worked and now you're financially stable, right? No different than the oxygen mask on the airplane. Make sure you are financially stable before you are trying to help somebody else. And for me, as I had been growing up, I always thought about how hard it was for my parents to have just rented a home for my whole life. And as a child who could be financially stable, you know how hard it is to rent a space just for yourself, even being financially stable. So how much harder could it have been for your parents? And again, here at Home Buyers Inventory, the owner and CEO of the company, me, knows how it feels since my father did rent his whole life. And once he was kicked out of his apartment, because they wanted to turn it into condos, my mother had passed away, he didn't want to be there anymore. He went to live with his children one by one and had no home that he could call his own. It's very hard not living in your own space. And especially as you get older, you lose your own space, you lose your independence, and it just becomes very hard. We all know, you don't know what to do. You don't have the freedom to do what you want. So how, as an adult child, can you help your parents to have their own home? Even when we become a responsible adult, we believe that it's still our duty, out of love, that we can repay our parents for all the things that they've done for us. So if you're financially stable, helping your parents obtain a new home is a dream come true. I know it would have been for me, like I said, if I knew then what I know now. And it may be hard at first, right? Because there is a potential expense that you're taking on. But the idea of seeing your parents happy with their own home, that is unmeasurable. So here are some key points in which an adult child can assist their parents with a new home purchase. And they correlate with how the parent could help the child as well. But there are some additional points that you could take on as a child and gain the benefit out of it. So one of the ways that you can help is to offer to pay for the down payment. You can also be a co-signer for your parents on the loan. And this one's important, especially if your parents are already retired. It's very hard for a bank to take on or look at, okay, your parents might have Social Security, they may or may not have a pension. So you being a co-signer for your parents on the loan could be a huge assistance to them. And this is applicable especially if your parents earn a minimum wage or have a limited income, like Social Security. Obviously helping them with the down payment, that can minimize their worry of not having a home when they get older. You can also buy the home under your name and let your parents rent it. In this way, you may save a lot on tax deductions. And finally, if you have extra money or you have other siblings who want to help your parents too, you can all decide to give a share of buying a house for your mom and dad. For those who had a good relationship with their parents, and I know this isn't everybody, so this may not be for you, but for those who had a good relationship, there's nothing better than helping your parents be happy. You can also, obviously, if you're feeling lucky and you're able to purchase a house, you can give it to your parents as a gift. Now, anytime you're giving a gift, please do make sure that you are checking with a local CPA or your expert CPA, accountant, estate lawyer. None of the information in this article is professional. It's all for informational purposes only. We are not CPAs, accountants, attorneys, or estate planners. So all of this is, again, just for informational purposes. Please be smart. Make sure you're checking in with those types of people in regards to gift taxes and estate taxes and planning. So, but your next question would be, if you are able to help, the 1H and the 3 Ys is what we call it. How will you get the house? Who can help you get the house you want? When will you have the house? And where would you want the house to be? So here at Home Buyers Inventory, you can be assured that you're in good hands, because whether you end up working with us to get into one of our homes or you work with somebody else, we want you to have the right information. So whether you do business with us or do business with somebody else, please make sure you're asking your questions, looking at our blog, and reading the information so that you can get the right information and you can protect yourself and your parents. With us at Home Buyers Inventory, people can get into their dream home in as easy as 5 steps. It's a very simple process. And, those processes take you from viewing the home all the way to signing your rental agreements and your option agreements with the notary. You can check our blog. It's 5 steps to move in with Home Buyers Inventory. That will be the one that will share with you the exact steps. And you'll learn more about how to get a home for your parents there. Having yourself engaged with our rent-to-own home program is the best decision you're going to ever make. We make sure that we can help you the best that we can, and we can guarantee you that we will be with you all throughout the process. So the next question, what are you waiting for? Check out our rent-to-own home program and let your parents have the home that they deserve. After all, what's more important than having your parents feel that they're loved and remembered always? For more information about our rent-to-own home program, or just to learn more about how you can help and read information for free, visit us on our website at www.homebuyersinventory.com. Feel free to browse our blog and to understand more about the program and more about buying a house in general. And while you're there, get a free checklist of viewing a home. So visit us again at www.homebuyersinventory.com. We're happy to answer any questions and help you in any way we can. Thank you for listening.